Hello, everyone. Today in this video, we'll be discussing about the very basic lesson on astrology, which is going to be about 12 houses. What are 12 houses? What zodiac sign they're ruled by, and what's their ruler planet names. So, starting with the house number one, which is you yourself, your body, your health, your nature, your character, and how do you react to certain situations, where your life will be focused, where you will be focused most of your life. And we'll go further into all the houses and their details one by one. This video is all about brief introduction about all 12 houses. So, first house again, it's ruled by the sign of Aries, which is ruled by uh, planet Mars. Second house is ruled by Taurus. The ruling planet of Taurus is Venus. And second house represents your finance, your speech, um, and also your income, your investments. And in certain way, you can also look at it by your mouth. What you put into your mouth also somewhat represents your eating habits. Um, what would you like to put in your mouth? In a way, we look at that way too. So that's why we call it eating habits as well. Third house is Gemini's, and it's ruled by Gemini's, and Gemini's ruling symbol is Mercury. And this is basically, in short term, like screen shows, it's courage and sibling, but it also represents your creativity, paperwork in your life, the things, the agreements you have to sign, work related to publishing books, writing contents, writing articles, um, and all that stuff. Now, moving on to the fourth house, it's represented by or ruled by fourth zodiac sign, which is Cancer, and Cancer is ruled by the Moon, which is your emotion, and we see fourth house is your mother and your luxuries, the things that give you comfort, um, your tangible possessions like car, house, properties, anything that gives you comfort and luxury. And moving on to the house number five, and house number five is fifth zodiac sign, which is Leo, and the ruling planet of Leo is Sun. And this house is very very important since first, fifth, and ninth they're triangle houses, and 1, 4, 7, 10 they are Kendra houses, which is central houses. So talking about fifth house, it's your intellect. You could see your children from it, and this also to do with your um, um, share market, and love affair, romance, and entertainment. Things that brings you entertainment would also be looking from the fifth house. And along with that, like I said, share market, but gains through share market is also from there. Mantra siddhis, like anything you've done with mantra siddhis, in a way you can also call them Do you have achieved certain things by doing certain affirmations? Mantras are, in a way, affirmations to connect or to reprogram your subconscious, can be also seen from it. Sports and gaming and music, like I said, entertainment, also seen from the fifth house. Moving on to the house number six, and sixth sign is basically Virgo. Virgo is ruled by Mercury again. Um, in Sanskrit, there are three names for this. It's Rog, Rin, and Ripu, which represents your your health issues, your enemies, your debts. Debts could be like loans, and also somewhat represents the worries in your life, enemies, which is Ripu. Can also be seen this house by what services we have to provide to whom. That also can be seen from the sixth house. There are a lot more aspects to each of these houses, which we'll discuss in individual videos when we talk about one single house at a time. And talking about the house, moving on to the house number seven, which is opposite from you. So if you're house number first, as you could see, and the house number seven is away from you, so that's your spouse. That's the people you encounter. That's also your desire. The other things you can look at it is your partnership and daily sale purchase income can also be seen from the house seven. Moving on to the house number eight, which is house of pain, also considered as a house of very, very deep knowledge, longevity, um, vulnerability as well. There are a lot. The eighth house is very, very mysterious because you see all the things that hidden, sudden changes, accidents, insurance, gains from insurances, occult science. If you see the great philosophers who have written a lot of books and they have deep knowledge about life, they can see things that most people don't see them. You can also see in their chart, eighth house would be very, very dominant. And it's very important, even though it's considered as the house of death in certain ways, and um, the things that give you pain, but sometimes the pain also, um, a very small example of that is gain from pain can also be seen from the eighth house. Sometimes you see, if let's talk about insurance. If someone gets the benefits from insurance, that that comes after someone passes away, or you get involved in some sort of hurt or an accident. Let's say you get some benefits out of an accident settlement, and that's also insurance gain, but it came with pain first. So occult science is also a very deep science into it, and we'll also talk about in depth about eight house in upcoming videos. Ninth house is your father. um, I guess I forgot to mention about seventh house is Libra. Moving back, sorry about that. Seventh house is Libra, represents by your Venus, and that's why we connect this to your spouse as well, and the things that you love in life. Eighth house, eighth ruled by planet Mars, which the sign is Scorpio. And now we move on to the house number ninth. Ninth is um, Sagittarius, which is ruled by Jupiter. Jupiter is considered as the most auspicious planet. Um, this is house of luck, your father, higher learning, um, the dharma in your life as well. Some people also look at 10th house as dharma, which is in a way dharma, but there's a difference between dharma and profession. The things that you're meant to do in this life for the purpose of your soul fulfillment, and the other one is to do as a profession. It could be two different things. If someone has a relationship between ninth and 10th, which means they're also fulfilling their purpose along with what they're supposed to be doing as a profession. But about ninth house is also um, to do with your long journeys, your gurus. You know, it is in a way. Uh, I wouldn't say religious because it's a higher knowledge. It's more about spirituality, which is a very very high form of uh, religion. Religions are there to teach you or move you towards spirituality. So ninth house can be seen as higher learning. In some people who are not into astrology, this could also represent higher level of education, masters, PhDs, and stuff like that. Moving on to the house number 10, which is ruled by Capricorn. The ruling planet of Capricorn is Saturn. Saturn is all about providing service, judgment. um, 10th house is very, very important in most of our lives because, in a way, like I mentioned, it's also your dharma through your profession. But mostly we look at it by profession. And what's your reputation, fame, also comes from the 10th house. Other aspects of this, you could also see politicians, promotions, transfers can also be seen from the 10th house. We'll talk about it in depth, about how uh, this house can mean a lot more. But we will see how and what professions would um, be suitable to you as different signs based on all the planets where they're sitting in your birth chart. So moving on to the house number 11. 11th sign is Aquarius, which is again ruled by Saturn. And Saturn and Aquarius, Saturn is a planet of discipline, and 10th house is looked by 10th house can be seen with your socially your connections with the people and friends and society around you also represent your elder brother and sister, elder siblings, you can say. um, but this house also has a very very beneficial effect. That means basically you can see the gains of your life, from where you're going to get gains from. So that is your 11th house. um, Now moving on to the last house, which is 12th. um, as on the screen you could see it's enlightenment and death. That not only mean that it only has to do with death and enlightenment. This is the house about your payback karmas. So this also represents the investments, the expenses that you have to do in this lifetime. Where will you be spending money? where you should do your investments can also be seen from the 12th house, depending on what planets are sitting there and what aspects they have, which again we'll talk about this in later videos. Um, there are many more aspects to the 12th house. The overseas travel, foreign lands, they're also seen from 12th house as well. Imprisonment, hospitals, you know, salary goods. I mean, there are a lot of things that can be seen from the 12th house. Sorry, forgot to mention 12th house. It represents by sign Pisces, which is again ruled by Jupiter. So for today's video, I think that's just a basic formation again. We have 12 houses, and the first house is Aries, second is Taurus, third is Gemini, fourth is Cancer, fifth is Leo, sixth is Virgo, seventh is your Libra, eighth is your Scorpio, ninth is your Sagittarius, um, 10th house is your profession, 11th house is your um, 10th house is Capricorn, 11th is Aquarius. Jupiter, Venus, and Saturn and Mars, they have more than one sign assigned to them. Like Mars is first sign and the eighth sign, which is Aries and Scorpion, and Jupiter is ninth house and 12th house, and ninth sign and 12th sign, which is Scorpion, which is Sagittarius and Pisces. Saturn um, rules two signs, 10th and 11th, which is Capricorn and respectively Aquarius. And I guess I haven't forgotten about this. So Mars, Venus, Saturn, and Jupiter. So that's just the basic about 12 houses. I hope you get some sort of beginner's knowledge about houses from this video. Uh, we'll uh, we'll move on to next videos talking about their aspects in depth, their their meanings. What do they do in your life? How can you see your chart and have some sort of judgment about all the signs? So thank you very much. Please subscribe to the channel and look forward for the in-depth videos about each houses. We'll also go through um, all the zodiac signs and what do they represent in general, and how can they affect your life based on where they're sitting in your birth chart. And eventually we'll also, there are a lot of sources you can go online and check the Vedic astro charts, where you can actually put your date of birth, time of birth, place of birth, and get the exact uh, ascendant is always your first house. It may or may not be the first sign there. That's where the ascendant comes in. So not everybody is born with the first zodiac sign in the first house. So your ascendant could be different based on your birth time, place, and um, you know. So thank you very much again, and see you in the next video. Ciao.